Well, I don't see nobody in here, but I am live. So I guess I gotta wait on somebody to show up. Otherwise, I'm talking to myself. I read the other day if you talk to yourself, that is a sign that you're crazy. No, actually, it said it's a sign that you think a lot. And I do. I think my brain never shuts off. So I don't see anybody. If anybody's hearing me, listening to me, or whatever, let me know because I'm not on the YouTube side. I can't see if anybody's in here or not. I don't even know if anybody can hear me. I don't even know what this audio sounds like. So let me know. Pudding Tang, there are three of us watching. YouTube says, okay, cool. What's up, Steven? Bat, what's up, guys? Yeah, man, on a whim, I just decided to go live all of a sudden. Like, I don't know why. I do that probably twice a year. So audio is good, cool. That is cool. What's up, Judge Webb, Larry, Pudding Tang, Cooking with Steven, Jeremy Story, Kyle W. I think that's everybody so far. Double J, hey, hey, hey. Jeremy Story, Roll Tide from T Town. There you go. Heck yeah. Drunken Chef Barbecue. Not much, man. Just decided to go live. My son invited me today to go to this parade on the water thing, not too far from here, and he's got a pontoon boat, and we put it in the water, and we were in there, and we're just trying to get kind of situated. And all of a sudden, he gunned it. We're getting ready to take off and catch up with the parade. What's up, Guggen? Hot two, hot two. And man, that's everywhere right now. But anyway, I don't know what happened. I was listening to the motor. It's like, meh, meh. I said, "Is that an automatic transmission, man? This thing shifted gears." He goes, "Oh crap! Heck no!" He goes, "I just slipped my prop. His prop is slipping." I'm like, "Oh." We come to a dead stop, sit out there for an hour and a half waiting for Towboat US to come and tow us back to the dock. We didn't get 300 yards, so that happened. And then the he we came back, dropped a boat here in front of my house, big pontoon boat. We went and ate at the TBT, come back, and he was getting ready to take off, and he went to cranking that jack up on the front with the wheel, and it broke. It could not. It's like, golly, two things happened. So he had to go to Walmart or Academy or somewhere and buy a new crank thing, and come back. And I broke my tools out, replaced that, and I just talked to him earlier, and something else happened. I can't remember what. I said, my mama always said, when it rains, it pours. And man, that ain't no lie. Three things happened to him today. He's like, damn the luck. It's like, I know, man. That's the way it happens sometimes. So I said, don't worry about it. Tomorrow's a brand new day. How's everybody doing? Got Scotty in here. I see. The Moose. Who else? I say Guggen. I think everybody is pretty much the same folks. Sylvia Wiggins, I see. Hi, I'm here for it. Well, I'm here to deliver. Deliver what? I have no idea. I'm just doing this to be doing it. No rhyme, no reason. I'm just going live. Hadn't been live in a while. Figured I'd go live. I'm not dropping a video this week on this channel. So I figured I'd just make that up by going live for a little while. So that's that. Oh, let's see who else we got in here. Oh, there's Simon. Hey, Simon, what's going on, man? But yeah, a rough start to a day, man. For a Saturday, we were going to have a relaxing day on the boat and everything like that, and it turned into a fiasco, to say the least. And went to TBT. What's up, Madwood? And we ate kind of, I guess you'd call it, in between lunch and dinner. It was around 3 a.m. I mean 3 p.m. Gabe's in Iowa. What's up? Uh, who else we got in here? That's about everybody right now that I'm seeing. I don't know how many's in here. Like I said, I'm not on the YouTube end, but probably not everybody's commenting. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I didn't send out no invites, but I will put the link in here if anybody wants to join me. Because I hate doing these lives by myself because I really, like I said, this is just on a whim, no rhyme or reason, nothing to talk about really. But with other people, all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're talking about sailboats, you're talking about welding, you're talking about trains. We can talk about all kind of things. It's hard to do that by yourself sometimes. So I'll put the link in here, but I will tell you if I don't know you, like don't know who you are, like on a personal level, I won't let you in. Don't take no offense to that. It's just I've done that in the past and I've always regretted it. Somebody took advantage of that and come in here and crashed my life. So I will say that I could have sent out invites, but I didn't do that. So I'm just gonna paste it right here. Let's see, paste. I think that's the right link. Here we go. Greg Cooper, hey Russ from sunny Wisconsin. What's up, man? Grill Master, I grilled some lobster tails for the first time today. They turned out awesome. Good deal. Yeah, I've grilled lobster quite a bit over the years. Good stuff. What's up, Loderman? Loderman Jack? That one drunk guy. Yeah, that guy. That's who I'm referring to. I have no idea who he was, and man, I ended up having to kick him out. He was wasted. I didn't know him, so ever since then I've adopted the rule: if I don't really know who you are, I'm not gonna let you in on the live. But I did send that link. I think I did. If anybody wants to join in, did I send it? I don't even see it. Let me do it again. Yeah, there it is. Okay. And as always, if I miss somebody in the chat, I apologize. That's just the way I am. I get lost in the shuffle here sometimes. Anybody got any questions or anything like that? Let me know. I did drop a new video on my other channel, Skill Savvy DIY. What's up, Victor? Victor Brenner. I dropped that this morning. That's a brand new channel. It's very small. Videos that it hadn't even reached 100 views yet, but that's all right. It's you got to be into that sort of stuff to even watch that video. If you're a guy that works on your own cars or does anything, that's kind of videos I'm making for that other channel. Has nothing to do with cooking. Everybody likes to eat, right? So we all have that in common, but not everybody works and fixes things on their own. So, but it's kind of limited to that and that only. But I enjoy doing the videos. A lot of fun. Just something else to do. As most people know, I am retired, and so I'm keeping myself busy between the Smoky Ribs channel and now I got this new channel, and keeping myself busy that way. Pudding, what is TB? Wait a minute. What is PCBs? Where y'all ate today? Oh, we ate at the Blind Tiger. The Blind Tiger, TBT. That is right on the beach in Biloxi. It's kind of disappointed, man. I ordered these. They're called Royal Oysters. They had these oysters. The oysters was pretty good. The sauce and the cheese they put on, but they had these royal red shrimp on top of them, unshelled. They were already shelled. These shrimp were just dried out. I asked for some hot sauce just to dip them in to give some kind of moisture to them. It was terrible, But like I said, the oyster part of it was all right. Marco Martinez, Russ, shout outs from out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Love what you do for this channel. Appreciate it. Thank you. Awesome. What's up, Barbecue Mike? And like I said, if I missed anybody, just keep commenting. I'm sure I'll see you. There's Kevin Clayton subbing to the new channel. That's right up my alley. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's called Skill Savvy DIY. Just put that in the search. You'll find it. Or I think I have it actually in the description box on this video also, if anybody wants to go over there. I'm not here to pump up that channel by any means. I'm just saying I did drop a video this morning. Russ's other channel. Oh, okay. Appreciate it, Steven. But yeah, it's very specific just to certain things, and it's definitely not a cooking channel. But I'm having fun with it so far. Anybody want to hop on? Simon? Whoever? Just jump on in here. Rush. Okay, I just read that. Shout out from here in Goshen, Mississippi. Check that out. I'm right here in Biloxi, man. I'm not far from you. I used to go through Goshen every morning going to work at the Ingle Shipbuilding there in Pascagoula. Let's see. Sleeper Barbecue. What's up, man? You can slow the chat down. Just click where it says old people. I heard that. It ain't that crazy, man. I've had it crazier in the past. I can keep up with it, I think. Yeah, give me a minute. Hey, you mad wasn't bad. Let me go on down, Brother Lance. I'm not set up for a live. Okay. Mark B, sweet. I'll work for. Oh, cool. Subship. Okay. Yeah, I know them guys well, man. I say I know them. I don't know them personally. I remember them well, working out there for so many years. Awesome. Everybody's doing their hellos. Hello, hello. Come on in here, Lance. I laid that link in there somewhere. I'll do it again if you want to join. Oh, I got somebody in here. Guggen Barbecue. There he is. What's up, AJ?
What's going on, Russ?
Oh, man, nothing much. I better put my earphones on now.
Yeah, I just heard myself.
I got to do that just to keep out the echoes. Give me 1 second. All right. Say something. Make sure these things are working.
What's up?
Yep. You're good. All right.
Awesome.
How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good, man. How about you? I heard about your boat story, so sorry your day didn't go so well.
God. Yeah, it wasn't really my day. It was my son's. He was wanting to take me out and have a good time, and all this stuff just started piling up. It's like, God, what is going on? This one thing after another. I'm like, that's how it happens, man. It just, that's just the way it happens sometimes.
It's just one of those days, man.
Yeah. And like I told him, I said, dude, we're 300 foot from the launch. I said, this could have happened way out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the best place for it to happen.
Yeah. And I told him he didn't know this. He bought this boat, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months ago. And he got stranded out there at Horn Island or Pettyboy Island, one of them, here a while back. And he ended up having to call the Coast Guard. The insurance places want $1,100. Not the insurance, but the towing companies want $1,100 just to tow him back to the dock from the island. It's 12 miles,
Yeah.
And I never thought to tell him, but I do have some experience in that area because, there's Lance. We had that, hang on, Lance. We had that, not much. We had that sailboat, but you can buy insurance, unlimited towing insurance through Boat US for like $200 a year. So he ended up getting that after that first incident. They come out today and pulled us right back, and nothing, no charge. So that worked out good. And like I told him, I said it could have been a lot worse on that end. And then we get here, the boat's parked across my grass right here, like half in the road, half in the grass right here in the front. And he was getting ready to back his Jeep in and hook up to it, and he went to cranking on that thing thinking it would go further up, and it was maxed out. When he did, he broke it. Had like a little I don't know, what do you call that, like on the rear end with their ring and pinion type gears.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like that, and he snapped something, it broke, so he had to go buy a new one of them. And he got that on. And then, like I said earlier, I can't remember now what he told me happened once he got home, but something else happened, you know. It's like, it's
Damn.
all right. Just get a good night's sleep. Tomorrow's a whole new day, man.
Man, what I say, it's always nice to know somebody who owns a boat. So you can just go out and enjoy it and not have to deal
Yeah.
with all the maintenance.
I told him that. I said, a guy told me years ago there's there's a man's most two happiest days that he'll never forget. The first day he bought his boat, and the second
Yeah,
happiest is the day he sells it.
sold it.
You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
I've been there, done that, and I told him, I said, next boat I buy is gonna be a little skiff with a little outboard I can pull right beside the house just to go fishing in. I said,
Yeah.
that's all I need. That's all I want. No more sailboats, no more yachts, no more none of that crap. That ain't nothing but a big old money hole, man.
I'll
Look,
tell you what.
we got Victor in here. What? Oh, hang on. I don't know what's doing that. Okay, here we go. What's
So,
up, Victor?
Hey, man, I would have been on a little bit sooner, but I thought I'd better put some clothes on first.
Oh,
I
I hear.
thought you were saying Troy Victor, and I was like, no way.
No, that's Victor Brenner. He comments on a lot of my videos and Jeff Rice's and different ones.
How you doing, Victor?
Real good, real good. And yeah, when I saw that you had live stream going, it's like, oh heck, Russ is such a great guy, and just thought, well, I'm only going to be on here for a few, but
Yeah,
yeah, I
that's fine, man. Great
love the
that.
stuff you do down there, and with you being in the Gulf, I kind of relate to your seafood situation. You've
Mm-hmm.
got warm, hot weather where we don't have that up here in the Northwest, but seafood,
Oh
hmm,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, man. That's what I had today. Seafood. Seafood anytime. Now, I told my son this. I said, you know what? I said, this is a famous place right here that we're eating at for this area. And I said, think about it. I said, we can go home and make food that tastes so much better than this. It's crazy what they charge you for that. It comes to you dried out. It's just like, it almost makes you mad. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we got Simon back here. I am slow to the touch, Simon.
Oh, don't
What's
worry
up,
about that.
Simon?
I was there for like a minute.
Yeah, but yeah, it that's a shame. People charge you all this money, and it's not even worth eating a lot of time. I mean, it was all right. It was okay, but I'd been happier going to the racetrack convenience store and ordering pizza from there. $5 pizza. It'd been just as good.
I,
It,
I feel the problem with seafood is too many people who should know better, are professional cooks and chefs.
Mm-hmm.
They overcook it.
Yep.
That's the biggest mistake. Forgetting that most seafood, because they're cold-blooded critters, you don't need to cook them the same way as you would warm-blooded critters.
Right. They're very
And so,
delicate and like shrimp.
yeah,
The size we had, 3 minutes, those shrimp would have been perfect. Now they did pill them, and I don't know how long they sat under a warmer or nothing before they actually plated my plate up. But if they would left the peeling on, they would have been juicier. I feel like, and they didn't do that. So
well, and the peel on also. When you peel your shrimp before you cook it, you're removing so much of the flavor
yeah,
that's in the
absolutely.
shell.
Mm-hmm.
So it's disturbing when I'm watching somebody cook, and then they pre-shell the shrimp, but then they throw the damn shells away. It's like, no, 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 no. Put
Yeah,
put do that in a little bit of butter, or hell, just even water.
yeah.
Something, a little
Well,
wine,
if you
and
watched any amount of my videos, I leave the head on. The head is a lot of flavor that's added to that shrimp, and I show how to devein it, even though it's got the head and the shell on. You go in through the side with a toothpick, and that vein will pop right out. Just pull it out, no problem. Then you still got it encased in its shell, the head, and that shrimp is going to be so delicious. It's going to be juicy, and because you did not disturb none of that until you're actually getting ready to eat it, then you peel the head off and the shell. Then, there it is. I don't
do
care how
you
you.
do you suck the head kind of like crawfish?
I never do. No, I'm just saying I leave it on there to flavor the meat itself, to flavor the
Mhm.
tail. That's all it's for, you know.
Last year and this year, we have these huge shrimps up here in Washington,
Very good.
saltwater, but they're called spot shrimps. They're monstrous. And because of health problems, I wasn't able to go last year, and I'm probably not going to be able to make the season this year. But the crazy thing is, and I really want to talk to some of the guys who've gone spot shrimping,
Mm-hmm.
is when they're still out in the boats, they are pulling the heads right there. And they say it's because if you don't do that, they will spoil.
I've heard
And
that before.
to
I've heard,
me, I mean, what have you heard about that?
I've heard that one of my best friends has shrimped all his life. And today, with the freezer boats, most everything is done with freezer boats where they pull the shrimp up, they put them in a brine tank, and they freeze them. They flash freeze them
Right.
instantly. And from there, they're bagged. The heads are still on them. Now, back in the old days with the ice boats, if they were out for extended days, like 4 or 5 days just on ice, it could ruin the shrimp. But that's not a problem nowadays if you got the right boat. You know, it just isn't. But
And that's what I want to find out. And so again, this year I don't think I'm going to be in good enough shape. My vision's giving me problems. Can't use the boat right now.
yeah,
But what I want to do is when I get some, dehead some and not the rest, and but put them immediately onto shaved ice because that gets it about as cold as you can get without flash freezing.
right.
And
Yeah.
seeing if there is a difference, because I have a feeling that this is a tradition that started back when people couldn't get good ice
Mm-hmm.
at the time, 20, 30, 40, 50, whatever years ago. And they're just still doing it the same way they used to.
Yeah.
Um, but the last thing I would do anyway, though, is throw the heads away because if you're not going to eat it, I'm going to use as bait to catch more. I can't imagine just how amazing that bait is because hell, we use shrimp, we use prawns for catching salmon and
Oh
sturgeon
yeah.
and such.
Yep.
It's to me, it's like, wait a minute, you're throwing all of that valuable bait away? No, no, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here, man. We eat shrimp and we fish with shrimp. You know, we do both. Sometimes we fish with live shrimp, and or it could be frozen shrimp that you put in a container and froze it. You go out fishing for like white trout. That's the saltwater species. They'll tear it up all day long. But if you get into the speckled trout, they won't live shrimp. But nowadays I use artificial shrimp for speckled trout. And I love that, man. Fool them. Load a boat up with just a piece of plastic. That's a challenge there.
A real great bait for Chinook salmon is you take large shrimp. They tend to call them prawns, but they're not really prawns, but big shrimp, and then you cure them. Um, and you can put different scents with it and colors using dyes and things. And the salmon, they just don't know what to do when they come across that.
Yeah.
So wonderful, wonderful bait.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We smoke mullet. I just smoked a bunch of them the other day, and I've got a few videos where I smoke mullet. And people are like, mullet? We use that for fish bait. I said, yeah, we use shrimp for fish bait too, and I definitely eat shrimp. I said, if you smoke mullet and try it, I promise you, you're gonna like it. If Loderman is still in here, he can vouch for that. But I just did. I had that issue with that smoker. I had 32 filleted mullet on this smoker from top to bottom, and I was 4 hours into it, and the smoker wasn't working right. It would not get up to temp. I'm like, man, what's going on with this thing? And finally, it just went out altogether. I found the issue. They're sending me the parts to make that right, but at any rate, I was franticing because they wasn't done. I'm like, okay, I got this little smoking text, and actually the two layers at the bottom were done. They were just right, but the ones through the middle and the top just wasn't there yet. So that was just enough to fill up that other little smoker. I was able to finish them, but man, I was up to midnight that night. I'm like, I don't want to smoke no more fish for a while. I was so wore out trying to save them things, you know.
We don't have mullet up here. What is mullet like?
Biloxi bacon. He just said it. Mullet is it's called Popeye mullet is what it's referred to. We also have a ground mullet. It doesn't look nothing like the Popeye mullet, and they're good eating too. But what it looks like, I don't know if you've ever seen a flying fish, but a flying fish looks just like a mullet, except it's more of a bluish color and it's got them long wings goes down its sides that it glides with. But just the fish itself looks almost identical to what I'm talking about. You know,
I mean more the flavor.
the
Is it
flavor.
is it like a white or like a red?
No,
What kind of
it's got a little mixture of white and red mixed, and they're not good frozen. You know, unless you smoke them in advance. Once they're smoked, they freeze very well. But if you're going to like freeze them to fry them later, you know, and I have had them fried. The only way I like them is smoked. It's one of the few fish that, to me, don't taste good any other way. I'd rather have something else. But smoked, they are the bomb, you know.
so if they're frozen, when they come out, the meat is a bit on the mushy side, probably.
Mushy and the flavor changes. The whole thing
Uh,
changes. Texture, everything. These
This
are
year,
fish that you want to get fresh and you want to put them in a smoker. And you want, I do them a couple of ways. I do a Cajun style with Cajun seasoning, a lot of butter, or I'll do a Florida style, which is a mixture of hot sauce and mustard and some seasoning and more hot sauce and mustard, like a 40-60%. And they're so good done like that. Just baste it on there, put them in there, and smoke them. You know, I did these in a pecan the other day because it's only sawdust I had that was on the mild side. I got hickory, pecan. No, I'm sorry, I did it in cherry. Cherry. I did it in cherry wood, fruit wood, and had a great taste. It tasted great, but man, that was a pain doing those because of that smoker issue. You know.
it does crack me up when you mention about the mullet, how what some people will eat and other people are going, oh God, no, that's only bait.
Yeah.
Up
Yeah.
up here with our salmon and steelhead, most of us fishermen we use the eggs as bait,
Mm-hmm.
and it works as a fantastic bait. When it's a few years ago now, but I took Harry Sue fishing, salmon fishing, and when I told him, if we get you can get some hens, some females, we'll make some bait out of that, and he was just horrified, like, oh, why would you do that? That salmon eggs taste so good, and I go, well, because I like to catch more salmon, but I've
Yeah.
never made it. So yeah, one of these days I need to cure up some some salmon eggs and see what they actually taste like. But
Yeah. That'd be cool. Well,
when
see, mullet,
when you have
mullet. Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I'm sorry.
No,
I
no,
was gonna
you.
say mullet roe. If it's dried like in the sun, they call that batarga. I've actually bought it off of Amazon, and man, it is great. Just sprinkle it on pizza. It's called batarga, and
Hmm.
you can use it on. I don't care if you're eating breakfast, whatever. You just use it kind of like a seasoning. But the Japanese, I don't know if they're still doing it, but I do know back like in the 80s and 90s when it was roe mullet season, when all the mullet were holding all this roe, they would split these mullet up and take the roe out, and they're shipping it to Japan because it was a delicacy over there. And
Yeah.
they would just about give you the mullet, 25 cents a pound. And I was buying up all this mullet that's already filleted, and all I had to do was throw it on a smoker and add my seasonings to it. I was all over that. That was a good way to get them if you didn't want to go catch them.
isn't that what Jack's last video did? Didn't he cure the roe?
On the mullet, Jax,
Yeah,
I must have missed that one. No, I want to see that.
I thought he did that. He harvested it. And I was sort of kind of thinking he did something with
Oh,
it.
you
Like,
talking about Loderman Jack?
right, Loderman Jack.
Oh no, if he's seen that, I missed it altogether. I'll have to go back and look because me and him's talked about harvesting the roe and doing batarga and stuff.
Maybe
I think he told me his grandmother has done that in the past down in Florida. It's a big thing in Florida, or used to be. But
Maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I could have sworn it was him in
yeah,
that
no,
last
you
video he
could
did.
have. I could have just missed the video. I don't see everybody's. I try to. I try to stay up on top of it. But man, you subscribe to a bunch of people, you'll miss some of them.
I'd love to get a recipe sometime from somebody on the East Coast. Um, we actually have shad on the Columbia River system. They are not native here. They were brought out like 100 years ago. I understand that the roe from shad are really popular on the East Coast,
Really?
where the
Now,
shad runs used to run really good.
okay.
Our runs, uh, because they are invasive, hell, they run in the millions, and the game departments have no limit on them whatsoever. They make fantastic crab bait. They make fantastic sturgeon bait. But I would love to find out how, because the female shad are huge,
Hmm.
and how to make roe for eating. That'd be very interesting, man.
Yeah. My dad, I remember as a kid, he would go to some of these fish houses sometime, like the ones that are right there on the river. And I remember him getting catfish roe and going home and having my mom fry it up and stuff. He loved it. And I'll be honest with you, I've never eaten roe other than the Batarga that I bought and paid for it come in a jar that you shake it out. And I loved it. But as far as actually taking it out of a fish and frying it, I've never done it. I can't believe that. Really, being on the Gulf Coast all my life, it's just I'd rather I don't know. I've always just eaten the fish instead. Not too worried about the eggs.
Yeah, I mean, we used to sell it off. This was when I was a kid, and because my grandfather would take me salmon fishing in the saltwater. He never did freshwater, and so you could sell the salmon eggs to the canneries and make really good money. Which, from our point of view, well, that's great. You're just going to throw the damn things away. And only later on, when I found out what amazing salmon bait they are for freshwater salmon, as in when they come into the salt or into the freshwater from the
Yeah,
salt. You
gotcha.
know, I don't
Yeah,
want to confuse anybody thinking freshwater salmon.
Lance,
Um,
he loves the fish. I know. I'm sure AJ does. Simon, you like the fish?
Yeah, it's been forever though.
Yeah, I hear you. It's been a while since I've been fishing. My youngest son just bought these two boats. He bought this pontoon boat, and then right before he bought that, he bought a bass boat. Both of them are used. And I said, dude, I don't care what we got, what we're going in. I want to go do some speckled trout fishing this October, November, and December in the back bay. In the bayous when they start running into the bayous that time of the year. That's my favorite thing to do, and it's been a while. It's been y'all. If you ever look on my channel, you'll see a few videos where I've done fish, like clean cook type videos, and it's always
yeah,
speckled trout. And I haven't done or went since some days. Just really don't have the means to do it. Don't have the boat. Got rid of the kayaks when I got to sailboat and stuff like that. So
I've never seen any fishing videos that you've done. I've seen you cook, but
yeah, they're on my channel. I got a few, not a lot. I know I got 3 on there where we went and caught the fish, come back, clean them, and then I make different recipes on each video on how to prepare how we do it anyway. Different ways of doing speckled trout. Everything from just fried, showing how I do my hush puppies and things like that, which is southern favorite down here. Hush puppies, and yeah, they're on there. You just have to the best way to find videos on anybody's channel, go to their main channel page. Click somewhere like in my channel it says Smoky Res Barbecue. Click on that. That'll pull up their main page,
Okay.
and not at the top where you search, but down lower where you have links across. There's gonna be a little magnifying glass that you click on to search. That lets you search that person's channel, and like for the fishing, you could go to that my channel page and hit that little magnifying glass and just type in fishing videos, let's say, and that should be the first thing you see pop up. You know, it'd be a whole lot easier to find it than trying to go back and because man, we're talking years ago. if you just start trying to go backwards through all my videos, it'd take a while to even find it.
What is
I'll,
So,
Double J saying he mixes borax with?
huh? What are you reading?
Double
Uh,
J.
yeah, Double J had says. I think he's talking about fish eggs.
yeah.
Oh,
Once I heard borax, I
mix
know what he's talking about.
little
Um,
borax. Huh.
for
Really?
salmon eggs, not for eating, but for bait. Um,
Ah,
for salmon eggs, most of the cures that guys use will involve borax, and not boraxo, the soap, but pure borax, because you don't want any perfumes or anything. But
okay.
what the borax does is it really helps to cure the eggs. And you, whether you're doing it in like a quart jar or heavy duty Ziploc bag, you put the eggs in and you put the your cure, which will be borax and probably some brown sugar, white sugar, maybe a little vanilla, different things.
Where would you find borax like that? That's not a,
Oh, just,
a powdered detergent or whatever.
well, up here, your sporting goods stores,
Really? Okay.
some of the grocery stores,
Hmm.
but in our sporting goods store, because it's so common, yeah, there's going to be pure borax and all the other wonderful things. Some like salmon, they typically like a little bit higher salt content than a steelhead. And for those of you who don't know what a steelhead is, they
I've
look
eaten.
like a salmon,
Yep.
but they're sea-run rainbow trout,
Ah, I
and
didn't
they
know
are
that.
they are torpedoes. They are super fast. So steelhead and silver salmon, which are our coho salmon, they are very similar. They're speed demons. They love to jump. If you want fast, amazing action that is going to have you smiling ear to ear and maybe peeing your pants, those are the fish to go for. If you want something that's going to fight you like the bulldog, that's when you want Chinook or
Mm,
chum.
yeah.
Chinook are also called king salmon,
Okay.
and they're just big. They won't jump all that often, but what they're going to do is they're going to try to go as deep as possible. It's kind of crazy. They're the biggest salmon there is in the world, but they're also very shy and timid. And so it's amazing the different salmon we have and how you have to fish differently for them. But that's what it's for, is to make to cure up your eggs for bait.
Okay. Robert Woods, I've seen a few people in here I just wanted to mention, so don't want you to think you're not being seen. Mountain Adventures said you should do barbecue stuffed jalapenos. I have done different jalapeno poppers on my channel, but I don't think I've ever done a barbecue stuff. That sounds interesting.
yeah,
And
people do them with like brisket or pulled pork.
ooh, that sounds good. That
Yeah.
sounds real good. And Robert Woods, what's up, everyone? Everyone enjoying this big time heat, buddy. It is hot down here in South Mississippi. Oh my God, it is freaking hot.
It cooled
Oh,
down. It cooled down into the 90s after it rained a couple of days ago. So
it's been miserable. We had a little bit of rain last week. I thought we was gonna get bombarded because of that system out in the Gulf, but
hmm
it all started going like through Texas and into Mexico. So we got one good day of it, and it cooled our temps outside down to 72 degrees,
yep,
and it felt like 72. There was no heat index. So I'm
right.
like, oh, it should do this every day throughout the summer. My power bill would go down. Everything would be lovely.
Yeah, it's been in the hundreds for weeks.
Wow, he's in New Jersey and it's
Yeah,
97. You hotter than we are,
yeah.
man.
We would
New York is in a heat wave too.
Yeah, I heard that last week. I watch a lot of weather channels and they said that they were going to have a heat wave up in that region. It's like, dang.
We
We'll
got
must be up
low
here in
80s
Wisconsin
here,
soon. Yeah,
low
I
80s
will.
with hardly no humidity. Um, but the really nice thing here is that it's cooling down. It'll still drop down into the 50s at night.
Oh
So
man.
Wow.
Love
wonderful up here.
Yeah, I would love that.
Nope.
You're in the northwest, right? You said?
Yeah, I like to say the Great Pacific Northwest. I live
Okay.
on the west side of the Cascade Mountain Range.
Oh
Now you
man.
get to the east side of Washington and Oregon, that's a rain shadow area. The Cascades are so high that it tends to pull most of the moisture out of the air. So
Okay.
it's much wetter on this side, and because of that, cooler. The
Right.
the hot temperatures that can come across from both Canada and the Midwest and the South during the summer months, we're again protected by not only the Rockies but the Cascade Mountain Range. So it keeps that really hot weather typically on that side.
Gotcha.
We, technically, we live in a temperate rainforest, but it doesn't rain all year long. Um, Getting into June now, July and August, pretty dry. September is when it starts to change. But when I long haul trucked, I went to every state in the U.S., every province in Canada and Alaska. And honestly, the most temperate place in the whole damn North America is this little strip along the Northwest.
Jeez.
So we don't like to tell people this all the time, but all that rain you hear that we get,
Mm-hmm.
it's not as bad as it sounds. And most of the rain we get is this light misty stuff. Seattle and Portland, the actual annual rainfall is right around 30 inches.
Okay. I tell you
But we
what,
get
I would trade that mist and that dampness and coolness any day for what we have down here. I
it's
seriously would. I
it's why
see
I live up here.
Guggen bailed out on us.
Yeah, yeah,
Daggum.
the baby woke up.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
but everybody in the chat said in the East Coast it's 99, 98,
Yeah, I seen Lance said that 99 in
100
Maryland.
degrees. There was a
Yeah,
oh,
it's not that hot down here, man.
I'm
Y'all
I'm
are
I'm
hotter than we are, which
I'm
is
sitting at 91 right now in Texas.
I don't know what just popped up. Oh, I know what happened. Let me see what we got here in South Mississippi. WLOX weather. It's pretty accurate. This is right here in Biloxi. This weather channel is 84 degrees. Feels like 91.
Sheesh. Nice.
Yeah, that's not too bad. What am I complaining about? It was hot today, though. It is almost 8 o'clock at night, so it's cooled off a little bit.
Right, but
There's that Windsor guy again. Yeah, he's 99 in Annapolis today and tomorrow.
yeah,
Yeah, Kevin Windsor. He's been
the
following me on my channel for a while.
the other rain that we got, it's burning off, so you feel the humidity coming up,
Yeah,
from below, and it's what makes you feel just hotter because the concrete's hot.
Scotty says it's 65
65.
hot here.
Wow.
I tell you what, I'm getting ready to go back to Iola, Wisconsin here in a few weeks to the Iola Car Show, as you know. But when I was there before, I'm packing short pants. Man, it's July, I'm packing what I would wear here. And when I get there, Jeff is like, "Did you bring any kind of sweatshirt or long sleeves or long pants on it?" Well, heck, no. He goes, "Oh man, I should have told you." We got up one morning. It was like down in the 50s, and I'm in shorts, but he gave me a sweatshirt to put on. It was chilly, like daggone. July down in the 50s at night. It warmed up during the day, but it was nice. So really,
Tuesday. It is swamp ass morning.
daggone, that went down the wrong pipe.
Damn,
All over my computer.
there she blows.
I
Jeez.
thought
Ooh boy, all over my computer.
I
Daggone.
thought you read swamp ass warning and that made you spit it up.
No, it went down the wrong pipe or something.
I don't know what you're drinking, but would that be considered alcohol abuse?
Yes.
That is definitely alcohol abuse, man. I need a paper towel just to wipe my keyboard off. It's all over my screen. It's everywhere. Dadgummit. Just a
So,
big
Randy,
baby.
Al,
Just a big baby. What can I say? As long as
We'll
it don't
take you
get down
nowhere.
to the controls, we'll be out. Who just spelled out? Simon. Did.
Simon.
Oh, here he is. Hang on. Add to the stage. Did I just remove you?
Yeah, when you wipe the whatever.
Oh,
you-
okay. I'm sorry.
Did I do that?
Did I do that? Well, Victor, you got one heck of a beard going on, man. That's impressive.
Well, thank you. There's more to it. If any of you know Grumpus,
Yeah.
uh, last last year was around the holiday season. We were doing a live on Dash, and that was when he came up with the nickname Salmon Claus.
Okay.
And yeah, it's I can't get my damn tablet to angle right to show everything off. But yeah, it's a nice beard.
You might
Yeah,
have
it
And
is.
to
It's
step back a
full.
bit. Take a couple of steps back.
now it's the table I'm on and
Ah,
the
okay.
tablet. If you
Yep.
go like that, but
Yep.
if I angle it anymore, it's just
Yeah.
gonna fall
Yep.
over.
How long has that been
So,
growing without a trim, do you think?
well, actually, it got its first trim about May 1st, because Mom was bitching a little bit. I was going to have a birthday, and she wanted me to trim it some, but
Sounds like my mom.
well, and it needed it because it was getting shaggy looking,
Yeah. All I
Um,
got is this little thing, and what happens? One side grows quicker than the other side, and so I kind of got it kind of looking about right the other day, and had to cut a little bit off because I was getting tired. I was getting ready to cut it real short again, like Lance's. That's why I used to keep it. I said I don't really
it
want to lose it because I like that fullness, but I can't stand like when I'm on live and I can see what it's lopsided look. I can't stand that.
it was about 3 years though, and all it got was a little bit of a trim. For me, you were just talking about lopsided. Yeah, my right side would kind of grow out a little bit, and it got a little bit wispy. So
Yeah.
I like to compare it to as kind of a southern rocker look, or
Yeah,
it's
it
scraggly.
is. Man,
And
that just screams Charlie Daniels back in the day. It
but
does.
a little trim, the old saying, addition by subtraction. A little trim suddenly makes it look more
Yeah,
full.
Yes, sir.
yeah, it
For
does.
years, I always kept what I called the gentleman's beard. That Sir Walter Raleigh kind of look, where
Yeah,
much more trimmed. But a few years back, a lot of little kids around holiday season were actually starting to call me Santa. And some of them genuinely thinking that. So I thought, well, you know what? This year, I'm just going to let it go. And then I basically never cut it since. So,
Time to wear a red cap.
I see Randy just joined the channel. He said his butt cheek hair is the same.
It grows longer on one side than the other.
Randy is a mess.
yeah,
Oh,
it's bad when your butt hair gets so bad you feel like you're wearing wool pants.
Mister, how do you pronounce that? Sweetness, sweetness.
Sweetness. Yeah.
Living in Oregon, wine country here. That's probably a really good, cool, nice place to be right now too. I would think around
Well,
Oregon.
it depends on what part of wine country. That's down in the Willamette Valley, and
Mm-hmm.
it can actually get pretty hot down there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Beautiful place, and I want to help you, Russ. It's not Oregon.
Oregon.
Gun, like a
Say it.
gun,
Say it
or
again.
or gun. Oregon.
Oregon.
No
Oregon.
or e. Say it I
Like
like
Oregon.
an I instead of an e. Oregon.
Like drop the E. Oregon.
Yeah. I mean, drop the e, add an I,
Oh,
Oregon.
Oregon.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
Hey, I get talked about. Man, I remember when I first started my channel, I would pronounce things the way we say it around, or at least the way I say it. People like, all these what do you call them? The police that come out to correct you on
The
your
grammar. Police.
yeah, the grammar police. I'm like, hey, I'm from the South. What can I
Sounds like the
say?
text message I sent to Len earlier today.
The folks up in the northeast part of the country, Boston, really a lot. Oh, they can't say Oregon. It's Oregon. It's like no,
So you're saying
it's
Oregon, Oregon,
Oregon,
Or
Oregon,
Oregon.
Oregon.
Oregon. Okay,
Again, instead of an e, think I,
all right.
and then gun, like
See, I
bang
used to
bang.
have a hard time saying Chicago, Chicago, and I would how did I say it? I would say Chicago instead of Chicago, and man, people called me out. I did a Chicago hot dog
Yeah.
years ago, and people blasted me over the way I was saying it. I'm like, God, give me a break, man. You know what I'm trying to say.
The state I can't pronounce properly, and I'll try, Massachusetts.
Same
Yeah,
here.
me either. I
But
can't even say Mississippi, right? Because I say Mississippi, Mississippi.
you're missing it.
Okay, I
And
can see
so,
that.
Mississippi. That's just
Yeah.
the way we do it.
But
When you're
Massachusetts,
native to an area,
almost everybody mispronounces Massachusetts.
Yeah, yeah, me included.
when you're
129 Homestead. What's up, man?
when you're
Boston,
native
Rhode
to,
Island,
oh, I'm
Kansas
sorry.
City. I'm sorry. I'm just reading some of the comments. I don't want
When,
none of the chat to feel left out, so I'm trying to keep up with
yeah,
that as well.
when you're native to an area, and this is what I learned when I was going across the country, you tend to pronounce where it is you're from. You shorten it down because you say it so much.
Yeah,
So,
Mississippi.
like a lot of the country says New Orleans, but a local says New Orleans.
Right.
or NOLA, even.
I
Yeah,
haven't heard that one, but
yeah,
although I've
NOLA
noticed,
in Alabama. Where you live at? I live in Bama. They just call
Bama.
it Bama.
but
Absolutely.
but I also noticed that if you ask them where they're from,
That's the two shits.
then all of a sudden, but then all of a sudden they'll kind of give you the longer version. Uh, Up in Newfoundland, which I've been to, they're just referred to as Newfies by their fellow Canadians, and they'll just say Newfoundland. Now I'm kind of screwed up. They'll shorten up Newfoundland, but if
Newfoundland.
you ask them, they'll say the full thing, but it comes across more like Newfoundland,
Wow.
Newfoundland.
kind of like
Yeah,
Norlands.
I've heard that before. Now that you mention it on movies or whatever, but I've heard it called that. Absolutely. Mr. Coldheart. Car is
Ka.
Ka. Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
Cock.
Ka.
Coldheart. Yup. I'm lost. I
It's
do
getting
get the
cock.
Massachusetts.
I like that version.
Yeah, Massachusetts.
Massive two shits.
License plate of in Massachusetts. AHCAH. Well, Lance, what
And
have you been up to, buddy?
Not much. Just playing around the computer today.
Yeah?
Figure things out. Got cooked on them tomorrow. Then we'll have to break out the pellet smoker tomorrow. Try to do those pork belly burn ends, and I just don't want to have to man it.
Hey, Randy, I'm gonna put a link in there for Randy if he wants to join in.
You
There
have
you
enough
go,
beer?
Randy.
You have enough beer for the night?
I do. I got a bunch of beer, man. I had a whole 12 pack that I took out on the boat and I drank one, so I come back with 11. Plus, I got, I don't know, almost a 12 pack in here. Plus, there's one that's not even been refrigerated yet. Still some of that free beer my wife got from where she works.
free
Plenty
beer,
of,
nice.
yeah, free beer. That's the best kind of beer.
I used to
Oh,
call my sister the beer fairy because she would bring the free beer to my house and just leave it in my refrigerator and not tell me. So it would just show up. And
That would
yeah.
be hilarious.
I remember this old man years ago. He said, my favorite beer is OP beer. I said, OP beer? He goes, yeah, other people's beer.
Randy's on the way to get beer. He'll be home. He'll be there. He'll be on soon.
All right, man. Just let me know when you get back. That link will probably disappear in the chat, and I'll repost it.
Well, I'll copy it and send it to.
Yeah, you can send it to him.
Yeah.
I normally do that in advance, like send out links, but I tell you, I swear to God, I decided to go live 15 minutes before I did. That's how I do it. I don't plan nothing.
Yeah.
I do it on a whim, like I feel like going live tonight. Lance has done quit going live, and dadgummit, somebody's got to go live. It might as well be me.
Well, I was glad to catch it. It's good to talk to you and you other fellows. I'm going to let you go. I got to go get some things done. But I'll put this out there for you, Russ.
Okay.
If my site gets good enough yet where I get to keep my boat, right now I can't drive. But I'm getting some treatments for my eyes, and hopefully I'll be able to drive again. If that happens, next summer, I'll invite you up here sometime for a salmon, Dungeness, and some
Ooh,
clams trip.
Oh
wow.
my God.
Boy, that'd
So,
be nice. Holy crap.
If he
yeah,
can't go, I want to go in his place.
Give me a little headway if that can really happen to where I can plan
oh,
it.
I
It'll
will.
involve a plane trip for sure.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah. That's too long of it. You don't want to
yeah,
waste that much time driving.
sure.
Correct.
That'd
Um,
be
No,
and I have Ricer's phone number,
okay.
so I'll get a hold of him. Tell him to
Yeah,
send my number, and because as long as my sight gets good enough where I get to drive again. Oh, I mean, right now it's killing me. That we've got a
do
good.
you not wear prescription glasses or anything? Or
Well, that's not the problem right now. What it is I'm diabetic, and
okay,
without going
yeah.
into details, there were some problems that happened to me last February,
Mm,
and the doctors I had weren't doing things right. Anyway, so right now I'm getting treatments to. It turned out that the eyes were bleeding internally,
oh my goodness.
and we only found this out, you know, 4 weeks ago. And so they gave me the first treatment, and then first week in July, I'll be getting my second treatment, and then maybe if that doesn't quite finish it off, I might have to get surgery. But from the first treatment, and it's my left eye that's the major problem.
Okay.
Um, it's clearing some, very, very small, but we'll see what it is. When I went in, though, yeah, it's kind of funny. Some people want to know in advance. I was. Some people don't want to know until that moment. I thought I was going in just for them to take some pictures and find out what's really going on. These are eye specialists.
Yeah.
What I didn't know is I was going to get a treatment. The treatment was that first they give me shots in the eyes to help with the pain.
Mm.
And then in a few minutes, they actually give the shots in the eyes for the treatment. And it wasn't a simple, I
Mm.
hope I'm not scaring anybody here, but it wasn't as simple just an injection into the eye and that's it. No, it's poke in, inject some, poke somewhere else. It was, and the pain was excruciating.
I can imagine. My goodness.
But, but when you compare that to um, losing your vision,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so I know that first week in July, I'll be getting it again. I'm going to ask them, can I take a couple of shots of whiskey before I come in? You know, if they
Yeah.
say no, okay, but at least this time I'll be prepared. It's like, okay, I know what I'm going to be dealing with. It's
Ugh.
going to hurt, but that's all right. Um, the right eye I can see well enough, and again, there has been some improvement. This is really good. When I first left that day, it was kind of for me in a lot of ways like my life is over. If I can't drive, that means I can't use my boat. I can't take my boat places.
Mm-hmm.
And salmon fishing, crabbing, the great outdoors is so much of my life. And then the cooking part, goes along with that. Tell you what,
Sure.
barbecue is really hard when you're half blind
Yeah.
and you lose your depth perception. So when
Anything
you
is. I'm
when
65 and I try to do the things that I did for years making a living. Even working on this car, I just, like I said, dropped that video doing an EC system, and I am struggling, and I have to kick my head up to where I'm seeing these are trifocals. I'm like, oh, okay, there it is. And, but just my natural tendency wants to look in. It's just all blurred out. I'm like, God, I put more light on it. Then I kick my head back. I'm like, okay, now I can see. It's aggravating, And it's like I used to have the best eyes. They were like an eagle. They were so good. It's like now they're crap. But
with the left eye not working right,
yeah,
everything is really focused on the right. Well, you absolutely lose your sense of depth perception. So
big time.
when you're around your smoker or especially a grill, it's flat out dangerous because you're not exactly sure where it is.
Yeah.
And, so cooking, it's a slower process. I haven't really been grilling as much because it's even more dangerous. At least the smoker, you got a little safety margin.
Sure.
I did get a New York steak that I'm going to be grilling up tonight, but yeah, it makes things difficult. But
It
I'll
does.
I'll
Yeah.
let you go. But yeah, if I keep the vision, see if we can get you up here next year.
Yeah. Just
And
let me know. Let me know how it goes. And
guys,
then,
Have a good day.
I'll catch you later. It's
all
been
right.
fun. Hey, give us a heads up a little bit more if you can the next time you're
Yeah,
going to
I
go hunting.
will. Like I said, this live was just absolutely impromptu. Just spur of the moment, and that's pretty much how I do it because I don't go live that often. Maybe twice a year, and when I do it, I just all of a sudden something says go live. I'm like, okay, and I do.
Yeah, it's been great to talk to you. Uh, very happy about that. So you guys take care, and I'll try to figure out how to get this off here now.
All
Bye.
right, Victor, have a
All
good
All
one.
right.
right.
Have a good day.
I want to Justin or just Joshin says DOA or voodoo for speckled trout. I've never used the voodoo, but DOA shrimp with the root beer let me say it again. The DOA root beer color shrimp with the little sparkles in it. That's the one I used to kill them on. And you could take that same bait like over there to Alabama, it wouldn't work. It really depends on the color of the water a lot of times. And that root beer color works great right here,
I've
like
never
in
heard of it.
Graveline and all these back bayous and all that. It works great, man, for speckled trout. We could kill them with it. We'd limit it out. I'll say that. And
DOA shrimp.
it's a DOA shrimp. Derek one day he had bought a bunch of them, and we're in a little skiff that I bought, and I'm up front. I had live shrimp, with a popping rig, with a cork, a couple feet of line up under it, and I'm sitting there throwing it out there. And every few minutes, I'm having to put a new shrimp on because trash fish is taking it off, a croaker or something like that. It's still on my bait. And he's over there pulling in some nice speckled trout. Finally, I said, "What in the heck are you doing different?" He goes, "I'm using this DOA shrimp." I'm like, "Well, give me one of them." And I swear, I used that same shrimp for 3 months. It finally got so many teeth marks in it, I had to put a new one on there. But man, that made a believer out of me on that particular bait.
DOA, is that a rubber, like a rubber lure?
Yeah, it's plastics, they call it, kind of rubbery. Yeah, DOA for me too. Yeah, that absolutely would kill speckled trout in my waters. It, like I said, it might not work in different color, but it works here. That particular color, root beer color, we called it. I don't know what it really is. We just kind of named it that. If you watch my video when me and Derek was in the kayaks, you don't see him. He's filming everything from another kayak. You see me, and I'll show that bait that I'm using in that video. And speckled trout was slow that year, and we finally, man, it was like the third trip, and finally we got into them a little bit. They wasn't huge or anything, but that day it definitely worked. But I got another video where I was over in Louisiana on the west side of the train trusses. You got I-10 going between Slidell and New Orleans. Then the train trussels was west of that, and then we fished or we trolled right beside the train trestle, and we were using mirror lures off each side of the boat. And man, we were pulling in the smallest speckled trout we caught that day was 19 inches. They were averaging 21 and 22 inches. One, I mean, every time we threw two lines out and trolled, we'd hook up, hook up, and hook up. We was out there 2.5 hours and limited out between four people. That's 100 speckled trout. All of them huge. I'm like, holy crap! That's the best speckled trout I ever seen in my life. That one day, it was crazy. But the guy I went with, his name is Andy Jones. He owns Wicked Fishing Charters, but he's out of business now. He retired, so if I ever go back to do that, I'll have to do it on my own. He knew just where to put us. He's out of Louisiana there, Mandyville, I think. What you eating, Lance?
Tay chips.
Tater chips. I
Tater
had
chip.
some pita chips with hummus earlier.
Sounds good.
Yeah, yeah.
I had pork rinds
Pork rinds. That sounds good too. I like
with
pork
with
rinds.
with hot sauce.
I had pizza earlier, but I'm still hungry.
Yeah, I'm gonna send my nephew to go buy a pizza in a 12 pack.
That's
I'm out of
like
beer.
me. We ate at the Blind Tiger there in Biloxi, and it was all right. Like I said, them shrimp, I had to dip them in something with liquid just to eat them because they were so dried out. But the oyster was pretty good, but not worth what I paid for them. It was like $30 for this platter of oysters. My son, now what he got? My son Chad, he got a platter. It had was it king crab or snow crab? One of them, but it also had Dungeness crab on there. Plus, it had the royal reds that still had the peeling on them, so they were juicy. And he paid $45 for that platter. I'm like, good God, this place is high, man. I can
Well,
get better seafood somewhere else.
restaurants in general have gotten expensive recently. The last couple
Yeah.
of years. There used to be. I don't think it's they do that anymore, but it must have been like a Wednesday night or a Tuesday night. They had $25 all you can eat oysters at this oyster bar downtown. I haven't
Man.
been there in probably 15 years, but I knew that they were still doing it like at least 5 6 years ago.
Okay.
But I don't know if they still do it now. But I would love to go back. Just give me a whole bunch of oysters.
Oh yeah, man. There's a place right up the road. It used to be called Mikey's on the Bayou,
Hmm.
and after 2020 and everything that implied, after a year or two, they end up closing up. But it's been reopened since then, and it looks to be about like it was. So I told Tarina I wanted me and her to go in there and let's see if it is as good as what Mikey's was. And they got that oyster bar in there, and that's normally what I'll do. I'll just go in there and get like 2 dozen raw oysters and some cold beer. Man, I'm happy. I'm a happy camper. East Wind Farm. How's it going, Chris? Double J says soft plastic. Yeah, it's like a soft plastic. They bite into it. They'll actually can break it in part or break it in half if they pull on it hard enough. But yeah, it's soft plastic.
Best time I ever had eating oysters, they were steamed, not raw. But I was in a buddy's garage, and he was just steaming oysters. He made these carts that he would dump the hot oysters in, and then underneath it was on a shelf was a bucket to throw your shells into. And down along the side of the hot area was like a trough and had different bowls of dipping sauce. Like if you wanted, like a vinegar or
Hmm.
Yeah.
cocktail sauce, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, tore them things up. That was the best time I ever had with eating oysters.
I love charbroiled. The ones I
I
had,
was
they
gonna
were
say,
kind of charbroiled, and they had what kind of cheese was that? Had a certain kind of cheese, and I can't remember the name of it, but that was pretty darn good. It had some kind of sauce that was mixed in. That was
yeah.
pretty good, but man, them shrimp sucked. Yeah, that burnt it
Can't
for
remember
me.
where I had the oysters that were, but they were it had cheese on them, and they were broiled or charbroiled.
Yeah.
And it was cheese, and there was some sort of sauce in it. But it's been years ago. But uh, probably the best oysters that I've ever had were those. Just because so much flavor
Yeah.
and everything that was in it.
One of my favorite ways to do them is just like take a grill, kind of like that Pits and Spits, just an open flame grill, and I'll take butter and garlic, like fresh garlic,
Hmm.
mince it all up in that butter with a little bit of parsley, maybe, and a little bit of season, maybe a little Cajun seasoning, and I'll put them oysters on there, get and raise the fire up to where it's right up under them, and I'll start spooning that butter mixture over them and get the flames rolling, and sit there and watch them oysters. They'll start sizzling in that shell, and when they start to curl a little bit, they're ready to come off. Put them in a platter with some salt, like ice cream salt, to keep them hot.
Yeah.
Man, good
Yeah.
eats right there. If you like oysters, a lot of people can't stand them. And I always know that when I do a video doing oysters, I know I'm gonna get mixed. I know I'm gonna get mixed reactions already. How can you eat them boogers?
Some tasty boogers.
Yeah, mighty,
Lemon
mighty fine burgers, boogers.
lemon juice and Tabasco sauce is good for me.
New Jersey has a really good all you can eat
Cooking with
oyster
rye.
bar. I'm only joking. I would not eat any ocean food in New
Here I.
Jersey. New Jersey.
There's your buddy, Russ.
Hey, Rob, what's going on, man? Good gracious, I would never expect you to pop in here. Thanks for popping in, man. Good to hear from you. I'm gonna post this link just in case Rob wants to pop in here. I haven't talked to him in forever. Well, I'm trying to post it. Did it
Here.
post?
There.
Yeah,
There
it
it is.
posted. Okay.
Mhm.
So you heard oysters.
You
Hi.
feeling better?
No.
She's under the weather right now. She's sick. What's that? That ain't what I gave him. But that'll work. I kind of like these better.
Christopher brought those to you.
He
Trina's
probably.
still doing that candy?
Oh, she can't hear you. Yeah, she's still doing it. Freeze dried candy. The neighbor next door to me was trying to replace his catalytic converter on his car, and he had to kind of like saw through the nut, and it was really in a hard spot. And so he asked me, if I had a Dremel blade or something. He had a Dremel, but he didn't. So I had a little miniature cutting blade. Yeah, I had two of them. I said, "This is all I got. I go buy another kit." He goes, "All right, I'll bring it back to you tomorrow." But the blade was on this little thing right here. You got
Right.
the little screw. You tighten it down. So he just brought me that back, but he brought me two of these little saw blades, which is cool. I didn't have those. I want to go buy the big Dremel kit that's got all these different
Although, yeah.
attachments. Yeah, they come in handy when you
Yes,
need
sir.
them. It's not something you need all the time, but when you do need it, they come in
Yeah.
very handy.
In fact, oh well, my lamp sitting on the little case I have here. I have a Dremel that I work stuff on here, but I have a little case that I bought.
I'm sorry, I'm reading Rod's comment. We have guys out here who will come and take his catalytic converter for free.
That's
Yeah, we got them here
right.
too.
I think they're everywhere.
Yeah, we got them here too.
Yeah, right. So he's away from his camera right now. So
Okay. Well, what's up, Al? I see Al in here.
yeah, I was in there.
I'm trying to pay attention to this chat. It
Yeah.
gets hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Does pork roll and North Eats in Ashbury Park count as ocean food? I couldn't tell you. I don't know where Ashbury Park is.
New York,
Any-
I think.
Is it
Where
New
is it?
York?
I want to say it's New York, but I don't know.
I don't know either. If it ain't in my neighborhood, I probably don't know about it.
The only thing those little small, like cut off wheels you're talking about, you really got to be careful with them things breaking off, man. And sending that thing.
Oh, they'll shatter. Well, if you watch that little video I did on my other channel, where I was cutting to that plexiglass. That's what I use. Them little cutting blades. It saws right through that stuff. You know. And I didn't use much of the blade either. But that's any cutting wheel. I'd rather do it. I'd rather it happen on a Dremel than I would my 4.5-inch angle grinder. That thing can mess you up. It can stick in your skin if it gets loose.
Yeah.
Put it in a bind, that thing shatter. Yeah, it can get ugly in a hurry. In a hurry. Russ, I need your hat rack on the door. Yeah, I had to order that not long ago because I was getting all these hats from Lance. Lance does embroidery work, and I got a bunch of hats up there from other barbecue channels and such, and
Here's
plus a
some
lot of
right here.
hats on my own. Yeah, I got one of them, but the one I got is black, I think,
Yeah.
and or blue or something. I can't remember. One of the early ones. But I got that off of Amazon. It just sticks on there like sticky tape. It's got all these hooks with Velcro on it. That's all that is. Works good.
It has
Yes.
like little clamps to hold the caps.
Huh?
Do they have little clamps to hold the cap?
No, it's just got like little metal hooks.
Okay.
It's got Velcro. That whole strip is Velcro, so you can take that little hook off. The hook's got like a little piece of
Yeah.
other side of the Velcro here, and you can stick it wherever you want it. If you
Uh,
notice, if you look
cool.
back there, you'll see maybe one hat a little bit higher up than the other
Right.
one. That's
Different
why
spaces.
I just stuck them on there and hung the hat. But you can put them where you want them. A little cheap Amazon thing, no big deal.
Oh, you had it over a year, so it's held up so well.
Yeah, I've had it for a while now, close to a year maybe, and it's
Yeah, about a year or so.
still hanging. Even if it did fall, I would just put a thumbtack or something on there, to hold it. Where's
Taylor
Skate?
Ham Jersey Tradition.
Taylor
Football,
Ham.
aka Taylor Ham Jersey Tradition.
Isn't that the ham you was talking about not long? No, you had a what kind of ham did you do?
Southern Maryland stuffed ham.
Stuffed ham. That's what it was.
If you never had Matabo Explode,
You ain't doing it right. I guess
right.
he's talking about a tool. Matabo. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I was in the shipyard one day. We were down the engine room of a compartment, and there was I can't remember what department he was in, but he was up there grinding and grinding and grinding. And that was one day I was glad I had my safety glasses on. That grinding wheel shattered, and I mean it threw it out like a grenade, shrapnel everywhere, and it hit me in two or three places. Ow! Ooh! Ow!
Yeah,
you know, and
I wear goggles when I'm working with that thing because I've shattered some of the wheels before.
yeah, man, it's dangerous. I remember being in a safety orientation years ago, and they were showing a guy that he was wearing a face shield plus his safety glasses, and a piece of that went through the shield and actually got embedded in his safety glasses and
Gah,
stuck in it,
gah.
just to show you what can happen. And if he wasn't wearing it, it would have went right into his eyeball.
Yes,
Good night, guys. Added Jess and Sleeper. Always good to expand. Thumbs up. All right, man.
Thank you,
Have
sir.
a good one. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. I used to watch. Talking about Rob being in here. He used to do lives every Saturday. I always look forward to them lives. He did a really good show where he used to show photos from people's cooks and everything. He was like the innovator of that. Ricer did it too later, but Ra is kind of the one that started all that, and that was a really good show. It was like midday too. It wasn't at night. It was a
really.
midday live show. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
I don't
He did
remember
it
that
for
one.
he did it for a while. Oh man, those were fun days. I need to do a lot. Yeah, you do, man. You
Yes,
really
you do,
do.
sir.
You're really good at it for one thing, and I really did enjoy that show a lot on Saturdays. That's right, Chris. Sure did. Every Saturday like clockwork. Sure did.
Especially Saturday during the day would be perfect.
Yeah. Look, I'll be right back. I've got to step in the kitchen for a minute. I'll be right back. Y'all just carry on.
Yep.
Hold down the fort. I'll be back.
Too bad we can't click on stuff.
Now they're calling it kitchen. I think it was about a year, 11 a.m. every Saturday.
Yeah,
I don't remember them.
I don't. I wasn't doing a whole lot. Well, I guess it was a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, I remember them. But he gets into all that. Rye does all that other like kettle cooking, which I like. Is that Huntsinger or whatever it is? Cast iron stuff he uses in his Weber.
Hmm. I think the last one was
Right.
in 2019. So okay, that would explain it. Because I started doing live stuff until 2020 when I started watching like Joe and Chud and whoever else was on live streams Saturdays. Actually, Joe has always been on Wednesday, hasn't he?
Joe,
Yeah.
Smoking Joe, yeah. Wednesdays. The last one was wow. It's been that long. That's been 5 years. Holy crap. Mallory, loved that great and other stuff by them.
I
I
think
guess
he's.
I'm
I thought it was Hunsanger, but he's saying it was Mallory made. Things
okay.
way second.
I remember when he got that Huntsaker barrel. It wasn't too long after I got my Gateway, but his has that instead of having a diffuser plate, it's got that thing that kind of gives you that vortex effect in the drum. You know,
Mm.
Huntsaker made the drum
Made
I
a
have.
drum. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear good things about that drum. I sold my Gateway and I kind of regret it in a way. I did like it, man. Everything turned out good, but it was sitting out in the weather. We had absolutely nowhere to put it, and I was starting to see little signs of rust around that bottom seam. I'm like, man, I'm gonna sell this while I can. I don't want it. Cause I had $1,200 invested in that thing from the price of the smoker, and I bought the diffuser. I had an extra grade. I had that little side. I had every option they sold, and they're kind of pricey, really, to be a drum smoker, you know. But
Yeah.
so I ended up selling. I didn't make everything back off of it I put into it, but I got at least 2/3 of it back, and I did use it for 3 years. So
Oh, good. Yeah.
yeah.
You got a question in there, Russ. But the Weber Searwood, I'm not familiar with it at all.
Where are you looking at?
Force coming up from the bottom.
One, two,
Humber,
three, four.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the new Weber Searwood? I don't have one, but I have watched some of Jeff Rice's videos. Uh, and it's not on his channel. His channel is Dead Broke Barbecue. But if you go to Smoke Barbecue Source,
Correct.
Jeff does videos for that company, and it is a company. It's not just some guy with a YouTube channel like me and everybody else. It's an actual company, but he is actually employed by them to do their videos, and he's got 2 or 3 videos showing that. If you want to check it out, it's Smoked Barbecue Source, and he can give you his opinions. I'm going to tell you, Jeff, I know him very well. Getting ready to hang out with him in a couple of weeks up in Wisconsin, and he ain't gonna give you no BS on the videos. If there's a problem he don't like, he's gonna call it out. So you can check that out and see what you think. Hunsaker makes a ton of stuff for the Weber Smoky Mountain. Really? Okay. That's one pit that I've been saying ever since I started this channel I'm gonna buy, and I've yet to do it.
yeah.
I would love to have one, man. I don't know if you ever seen one up close, like a 20. They're pretty good size. I have owned smokers like that, the bullet style, but it was not the Weber Smoky Mountain. But one day I'm actually gonna pull the trigger on that. One day.
Not sure if that went through or not, but because I'm not a moderator, so I put the link to a smoke source barbecue,
Okay.
but I don't think it went through. I don't see it in the
No, I
chat.
don't see it. But Rod, yes, the Searwood is the replacement for the smoke fire. The smoke fire had so much bad publicity thanks to YouTubers, but
Oops.
I know them personally too, but they had to do something, man. They got it. But anyway, yeah, that is the replacement. YouTube's got a lot of power, it really does if you think about it.
Yeah.
Creators, their opinions and all, it holds a lot of weight.
That's the name of the channel.
Yeah, well, smoked like with a
Yeah,
D.
I missed
Yeah,
the D. Yep, I missed the D.
smoked barbecue source. If you type that into YouTube search, it'll pull up. But Jeff Rice has done all their videos for at least the last 8 months to a year, I would think. He's the same guy that owns Dead Broke Barbecue, and these videos on the Searwood are going to be more recent. So the best thing to do is go to that channel, click on videos, and start looking at their most recent videos. It should be right there at the top or close to it.
Yeah, in fact, let me click on this. There it is.
Yeah, you're right, when it's got a problem, that don't help at all. And YouTubers just call them out on it.
Well, I mean, that's why they send that out to get reviewed, so you can work out all the
All
bugs
the
and all
bugs out of it.
and
Some
sometimes it
companies really appreciate that, but that wasn't the case with that because those were not sent out.
Right.
These guys that reviewed this actually bought and paid for it, excited to try it, and end up with grease fires on their first cook.
Yeah, that's well. I mean, that's
Yeah, was not a good thing at
mhm.
all. So they said the second generation kind of fixed those issues, but Jeff likes this new one. I do know that he likes it. So I'm not that much in the pellet world. I mean, I've had them. Y'all know that. I've had Camp Chef. I've had LSG. Still got the LSG. It's at my son's house, but I still got access to it. I'm just not much of a pellet guy. Just never have been.
What you lose, Lance.
I thought I had a sample of that smoked barbecue sauce.
All right, Rob, man. I appreciate you stopping by. Really do. Thank you.
For the hats I did for a ricer, but I don't
Mhm.
have a sample of that one.
Yeah, you had several different color choices on those, right?
Hmm?
Yeah, yeah, there were different colors. There were blue and a white on the. On,
That was his hat. Smoked barbecue sauce had to be specific because
okay,
it's a trademark. But I didn't. I probably didn't keep them because I didn't want to get in trouble.
It was good hearing from Rob. I haven't talked or had any interaction with him in a long time. That
Hmm.
was nice. Randy, are you still up in here? You done got your beer? You need a link or what?
no, it's got a link.
Yeah, that's right. You sent it to him.
Hmm.
Okay. He must be at home anyway.
He was commenting in the chat earlier.
Mm-hmm. What I mean, he's not on the road working. He must be
Right.
home. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he's still doing the class thing, so that's only Monday through Friday.
Okay. Well, this is day off.
Yeah.
Kevin Windsor, the Spider Grills Huntsman is one I'm hoping to hear reviews about when the final release when they finally release it. What is it? The Spider Grills.
Spider
Y'all
Grill Huntsman. Yeah,
y'all heard of that?
I've heard of Spider Grills, but I've not seen a whole lot of stuff on them.
Okay.
It's a Weber kettle. That's a pellet grill.
Really? I,
Just
I'll
cast,
be honest with you.
I think
I
it's
hate to
cast
even
iron.
say this, having a barbecue channel, I'm not as in tune with stuff as what I should be or used to be. I used to be on top of it. I knew every grill, everything out there, but it's just not the case nowadays. But I think I did tell y'all the other night I am getting the LSG El Patron, the one that
Hmm.
Greg did that review on, and I don't know when I'm getting it, but he said he'd be happy to hook me up. So I'm looking forward to it. I sold my pizza oven, so I'll have a pizza oven back at least, and a grill, and a smoker, all built into one. So we'll see. I was
Yeah.
thinking about opening a food truck just for breakfast. I was going to name at the Blue Waffle.
Steel Kamado with a controller.
The Huntsman is like a steel Kamado style with a controller. Okay, steel Kamado. That makes me think of the what's that steel Kamado they came out with years ago that a lot of people still
Acorn.
have. The Acorn. Yeah, yeah, the Acorn. But this has got a controller on it. Everything has got controllers on it now, man. Everything is computer controlled. It's
So
$750.
$50. Mm.
It's not bad. I mean, if you want to compare it to a ceramic, like a like
Big green egg.
a green egg or Kamado Joe, man, those are 18, 19, $2,000.
I saw somebody try to sell one of those ceramic eggs for like 500-600 bucks, but I had a big crack from the top going all the way to the bottom in a C shape. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, buddy, I don't think you're gonna be able to sell that.
I've owned 3 different ceramic cookers. I own none now. I've ended up selling every last one of them. Nothing wrong with them. They cook great, but I don't know. It's not a whole lot of cooking real estate there to begin with. And you can do anything on them. You can do pizza. You can do this. You can do that. But I don't know. It just kind of lost its luster after a while. And I'm getting out of that Kamado business altogether. But not talking bad about them because I did produce a lot of really good food off of them. I did. But I just wanted to move on to different
Yeah,
things.
when I first saw them when they first came out, man, I thought they were real interesting, and I liked everything about it, just not the price.
Yeah, price is a little up there, and that was the downside. As long as it was just sitting out front, not being moved, no problems. But when I got my first one, I actually won it off of a YouTube video contest.
Wow.
It was a Kamado Joe Classic, and we had to move. So I loaded that thing up and took it to Gulfport, Mississippi. I'm like, God, I hope this thing doesn't crack on me, and it didn't. It survived that. And then when we moved here, I rented one of them pods. And the pod, you only have to go up about that high off the concrete. So we got it up in there. Went there. That's the first thing I loaded. Strapped it down good. It survived it to here real good. And after moving here, I had two of them when I moved here. I had that one, and I had the one with the big wood table that the Kamado sit in. What is that called? The grill dome. I had the grill dome Kamado. I had both of them. And I did not want to get rid of that grill dome mainly because of that cypress table, but it got to be I just didn't have room for it in my garage. I had so many other smokers and stuff, and finally I made a decision to sell it, and I sold it, and that's one of the few I've sold that I kind of regretted. But anyway,
I
I
love my
sold
Kamado.
I sold them too. Then later I ended up getting a Kamado Big Joe. And I didn't have it long at all, 6 months, and I sold it. I did not like that compared to the classic. I didn't like the firebox, the way that you had to put them individual dividers in there. It was a pain in the butt. I don't know. To me, it didn't cook as good as what that classic did. It just didn't. So I ended up selling it.
Yeah, I do like my Kamado style.
Yeah.
Very efficient, cooks great, but it is one of those things that you worry about it falling or getting cracked or something like that.
Malcolm Reed still cooks on his ceramic Primo. I didn't know he had a Primo. He used to have one of them cheap ones. What was it called? That gray one, the Kong, I think it was. He used that for years. But Primo is like one of the only USA made Kamados out there. Everything else is imported. My wrists aren't that strong, Simon.
Chris, I would like to own one for one day. Just take a couple of shots with it, and then give it
no,
away
he
or sell it.
No, he didn't have a big green egg. He had a Kong. I think that was the name of it. Had all them big dimples in it. And I remember it well. Look back on some of his older Kamado videos. You'll see. It was a Kong. I want to say was the name of it. Chinese, big time.
So, not
That's
to
four
change
or
the
five
subject,
years ago.
but just popped in my head, and if I don't ask it while I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna forget about it again. Quint, what's up, Quint? So that a few of you know about the park grill thing. Going to make a pizza oven out of it.
Right.
So I'm changing the design up as of today. I went back up to the Mennonite, changed the design totally on him from yesterday to today. He's going to regret me, but I don't sleep at nights, man.
Hey, Clint.
I can't sleep. So I lay there and I think about stuff. So I decided to take this thing a different route, but and I think I asked Russ something the other day about painting it. So I don't want any paint on the inside, obviously. I'm just going to season all that up like if it was a cast iron skillet. But I was thinking about entertaining the idea of painting the outside because that's going to be subjected to the elements. And you're probably going to get a little bit of paint smell the first few times you fire it up,
Sure.
but I don't know if that's actually going to leach into the metal and come out on the inside.
Yep.
Man, you could even, if you're talking about that that solid metal part that goes around the bottom. You got your grates up top. You could paint the inside and the outside, because think about that Santa Maria grills I've had. All that was painted. As long as your grates aren't painted, you'll be fine. And
But
the
that's like
the,
a
the
powder coating, though, isn't it?
no, that's paint.
That's
But
paint.
But powder coating will hold up to
Oh,
high heat
definitely.
as well.
yeah, but they use all LSG all LSG uses is a high heat paint. That's all they use. And you do have to set it. That paint is soft right after you do it.
Right.
You have to kind of burn it in at lower temps and steadily bring it up over hours, and it just sets the paint. And even then, it don't last forever, by any means. But what I'm saying is, don't be worried about painting the inside of it. You can do that on the flat bar. You can do that. Just don't let paint come in contact where the meat's going to be
Right.
and the fire up under it. That's where you're going to get the fumes and all that. But on the outsides of it, yeah, you'll be good. Even on the
Yeah.
inside of it.
Well, I thought so, but I didn't know if it would like leach in through the metal after a while. But
No.
you're going to have to. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to recoat it year after year because it is going to be sitting outside. But
Yeah.
Try to get a cover for it. Just like a tarp.
yeah, see,
Okay. He had a green egg as well. I don't remember that one, but okay. Quint,
Quincy
sorry to
and
hear that, man. Quint says he's been at the ER all day. His mama's not doing good. Sorry
Right.
to hear that, Quint. And I'm sorry about your ankle too. I have a Ruger 454 Alaskan with a 2.5-inch barrel.
Gee.
It scares me to shoot it. I bet.
God.
Holy crap.
It's like a real hand cannon there, man. Shoot.
I owned a Derringer one time. It was a 38 caliber, and that thing killed me to shoot it. Just my ears. I ended up selling it. It was that painful just to shoot it. I'm like, if I'm gonna have a Derringer, it needs to be like a 22 Magnum at the most.
I fired a 22 long rifle Derringer. Sucker was loud as hell.
Mm-hmm. And that's just a 22. Imagine a 38 coming out of there. It just pow. I mean, it really damaged your ears. I'm like, that hurts.
The first time I fired it, I thought it was a 22, and I thought it was a regular size 22 bullet. Because those will just go pop.
Yeah.
But that LR 22 round, man, just surprised the hell out of me.
Oh yeah. To be a 22, you shoot it off a long rifle. It's not loud at all.
Yeah.
Amazing what that short barrel can do. Yeah, buddy.
what's the other one that was the 500?
The 500.
454 Alaskan. Didn't they have a 500 too? Remington, was it Remington? Or Smith and Wesson 500, Chris?
Oh, you're talking to Chris. I was gonna say I don't have.
It had a longer barrel than a 2.5 inch, but it's still
short
it
barrels.
wasn't
It don't matter what
500. Yeah,
what caliber they're going to scare you.
Yeah.
it's. I mean, you got to be a badass to be able to shoot it with one hand, and even then, you're going to regret it.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris says Smith and Wesson 500.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope my son has a better day tomorrow with that boat. My goodness, he just had problem after problem today. Tarina's granddaughter is down here visiting with us through all the way to July to something, and anyway, she's over there spending the night with them tonight. She went with us today to join in that parade, and anyway, that didn't work out. So she's going with them tomorrow to go up the river and everything, just hang out, go on a sandbar. You can
Was
get
she
these
Virginia?
guns in all different barrel lengths. Just happen to like the 2.5-inch Alaskan.
Was she from Virginia, Russell? Rusty?
She was actually, when I first met Tarina, Allie, her granddaughter was just born. She was 6 months old, and she was born in Gulfport. next city over from where I live, next main city, and they moved to Virginia about six 6 years ago, I think. So she was 6 years old roughly when they left, and now she's 14. So most of her years, recent years have been there. But yeah, they live in Virginia. They're all from there originally, anyway. But she was actually born in Gulfport.
Go
Her
for it.
mom, which is my wife's daughter, was in the Seabees in the military.
Sorry.
Yeah, she was. She went to
You don't
Iraq.
hear that much. CBs.
Yeah, but she was in the construction, heavy equipment, and all that over in Iraq. I don't know what they do over there. Can't tell you all that,
That's
but
the same as
they were there.
the seamanship school, Harry Lundenberg Seamanship School.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the same thing. It's a union seamanship, and they do construction and temporary bridges and stuff like that.
Yeah. Sometimes after these major hurricanes that blow through here,
Yeah,
Seabees would come in here and help rebuild the area, or at least the infrastructure, bridges and roads and things like that. You know,
right.
for, but yeah, she did that and finally got out of the military. She worked at the shipyard that I used to work at that I retired from. She was a forklift operator there, and then ended up leaving there, and that's when they packed up. She sold her house in Gulfport, moved to Virginia. Been there ever since.
They can make some crazy money, man. They say it's not really a job for a married couple, but man, they can make a killing on some money.
Yeah,
They'll go out for months, and come back, but making fat money.
yeah,
PHAT.
yeah. Yeah, it's hard to believe she's been gone for 6 years. To me, that just seems like a few years ago, but it's been 6 years. But my wife is in this era because of her daughter that was in the CVs. She came down here with them when she got stationed here to babysit Allie and her other daughter while she had to go overseas to Iraq and all that stuff. Then somewhere down the line, I met her, and she's still here, and everybody else went back where they came from. you
Mhm.
know, it's kind of crazy. CBs is short for Navy Construction Battalion. Okay, CB. It's a branch of the Navy, I think.
Yeah,
Actually, you know.
I think you're right. I don't know at the seamanship school is not Lundenburg. I don't know if that's a branch of anything. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
with it being union, probably not.
yeah,
No, they're Navy.
yeah. I think
Lundenburg
it's
seamanship
Navy.
is.
It's just a
No, the
division of it.
Seabees.
Oh yeah, yeah, I knew that
Yeah,
was.
it,
I
it's
wondered
it's
about
a
the.
division. It's a job in the Navy, and well, she was actually in the military, so it was. I mean, she had to enlist. It wasn't
Right.
like she hired on. She had to enlist and then leave the same way. But um, I don't know. That's all I know about that. That's all I know about that. Not much, I promise you. I was never in the military, so I don't know. Lance, that
Excuse me.
Lance, that was just gross.
That was very unpolite. I apologize.
So that sounds like an empty stomach, beer belly. Burp.
I am. I had pizza for dinner, but we ate at 4:30. I'm hungry.
Uh,
So I was
I,
munching on those potato chips on camera because I'm hungry.
I was contemplating telling my nephew to go buy a pizza, but it's 8:45 now, so I don't know if I want to eat right now.
Lance, this is a family-friendly
Or
live
that.
stream.
I apologize. Please pardon me, my pigness, but
Pardon
I
me.
got these.
At least it wasn't a fart.
Yeah, at least you didn't fart, so we're good.
Not yet.
I got some fruit over there. I could go eat some fruit.
Well, yeah, I knew there wasn't gonna be no no sleeper bar or live tomorrow with George. So I said, heck, I'm gonna go live tonight.
Oh, I
Get
don't
it.
know. I could go live. I was sort of kind of playing the ear to see what when Uncle Steve's benefit live is. I think it's supposed to end at 4:30, but
That's tomorrow.
I'll
yeah,
tell you right now. Hold on.
Who's doing that?
Mags.
Johnny
Okay.
Mags.
I don't really follow him. I guess I should.
Pit Life Barbecue as well. It was his Sim channel, but
Pit life,
uh,
pit smoke,
yeah.
pit life.
He's going live at 7 p.m. my time, so that's 8 p.m. your time.
Oh, really?
Which would be that'd be
Seven.
I
about.
saw I saw it was ending at 4:30.
So what happened, Lance? You announced to the world you wasn't going live. Now everybody's jumped into your spot.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
I probably jumped into somebody's tonight, but I'm sorry. I don't even look at that. I just when I get ready to go, I go. Which ain't very often, but at any rate, I'll probably end this thing here in about 15 minutes. I started at 7. That'll be 2 hours in.
Mm-hmm.
Be about right. Since we're running out of things to talk about here, or it seems like we are.
Yeah, no, I don't. It don't bother me whatever we do as far as Sunday, but I don't know. I mean, I just was telling the wife tonight eating pizza. I was like, "Man, I just don't know. So I really enjoy my lives, and if George shows up or someone else shows up, then that's great. If they don't, then they don't. I just need to
Well, you'll have people in there. You know that.
sort of
I
kind of
mean,
move on.
that's kind of like when I went live. I knew I would get some of y'all in here because I can't stand going live by myself. Because what am I going to talk about? But when you got other people in there, then you can talk about whatever and
Yeah,
react with a chat. Just whatever. But
Santa was talking. You were killing Steven with all that talking about shrimp and
yeah.
seafood.
He's allergic to shellfish.
appreciate it, Mike G. Yeah, I like these lives. I like
I
I like
really
I
enjoy them.
like hanging out. It don't matter who's live. I just like doing it. I always have. You know, for the last 2 or 3 years anyway. When
Hmm.
I used to work, I didn't really have a lot of time to do all that and get my stuff done on my channel. But nowadays, heck, I look for things to do.
Even started a new channel.
Yeah, start a new channel. God, that's turning into be a booger bear. That's a lot
Yeah,
of work.
yeah. Tom Garvey has, I think, 4 or 5 channels now.
Really? Nah, I
Yeah,
ain't gonna
Yeah,
do that.
I was looking at his hot dog thing, 4th of July collaboration.
the Ripper.
I thought he was up like to 1,300 subs or something like that, but he's pushing 1,100, I think. But he's doing really good. That channel's doing really well.
I just
What?
released that video today, and I got to thinking. I said, "That's a 25-minute video." First off, that's
Yeah,
just nowadays. That's not going to cut it. They want really short. And I said, I did that all wrong. I should have just showed how to do the diagnosis and leave it at that instead of talking about all this other stuff. I probably killed that video before it ever got started. So I just got to remember that going forward. Just keep it to the point, keep it on whatever it is, and end it. It could run 4 or 5 minutes and be done with it.
Well,
did
I
you?
watched. I watched that whole thing.
Did you?
Yeah, yeah, I did too.
Hey,
Did you film any of the R&R at all? I know you said you didn't.
the what?
You didn't want to make it about the installation of one, but did you
No,
film
man.
any of that?
I'm
You didn't
like
film any of it?
I didn't film any of it because think about it. Here you are, you're up under a car, you're on top of a car, you're
Yeah,
unbolting this, and how you gonna get a camera? I would be constantly having to move cameras. I'm like, man, this ain't gonna work. If Derek was still shooting for me and stuff,
right.
yeah, I could have done that, but I didn't want to make it car specific, and that was kind of my excuse for not showing how to do all that because really it only applies to that model, make, and all that. So
Right.
I figured I would say or turn it into something that's more generic for all cars because all cars have that on their compressors. And the way I troubleshooted it, you can do that on any car. Same thing. That part don't change from one car to the next. It's the same thing, and computers control all that now, and that part remains the same. So that's the reason I did that. But I could have made it 15 minutes shorter. So easy, you know. And that's just living and learning. You would think I'd already know having 12 years doing cooking videos, but it's different. It's way different. It
Yeah,
it, it really is. It's like starting over sometimes, you know. But I'll get there. I will get there. But well, I haven't heard from Randy, man. So I reckon we're not quite 2 hours in. Y'all
Yeah,
got
I
any?
just looked. I don't see even where he's responded to anything.
Yeah, but I'm already almost 2 hours into this. I'm thinking about calling it a
Uh,
night. Turn the Netflix on and see what I can find. What do y'all think?
you ought to.
Yonte? Alright.
Yeah, I did my research for Mars video.
I get that. I get that every once in a while in a text as a reply.
Yeah. Yonte?
Uh,
Mm. I know one thing. Next time my son says, "Hey man, let's go boat ride," I'm like, "That's all right. Y'all can go." That turned out being a job, man. Like, golly.
I did. I heard. I came in right at the tail end of that story.
yeah, same
So,
here.
what
Oh
happened
well,
today?
yeah. We left this morning. He come by here, and Tarina's sick, you know, and she's like, "I can't go. I'm running fever and everything." So we jumped in his Jeep, and Allie was with me, her granddaughter, and we go to the boat docks under Interstate 110, and that's Back Bay, Biloxi. Put the boat in, no problem, and we're putting along and trying to get it straight. And all of a sudden, he goosed it, you know, full throttle, and that thing went. Whoa, whoa. I'm like, I looked at him. I said, does this motor got an automatic transmission? It sounded just like it shifted gears.
Right.
He's like, ah, shit. I said, what is it? He goes, I just spun out the prop. He just
Yeah.
had that problem. They had to go get him at Horn Island, 12 miles offshore, because of the same thing. And he replaced all that. And there's a little plastic or fiber plastic insert that goes in the foot of that thing. And I guess if it's over torque, that gives up to where that prop can just free spin. And that's what happened. And here we are, just dead in the water. And everybody's coming by us. You know, they had a parade today, like a boat parade, political parade. And anyway, he had the flags flying and all this stuff. And anyway, we're sitting there, you know, getting bounced around from other boats, and little by little, starting to ease over. I said, "You got an anchor?" He goes, "No, I loaned it to my buddy." I said, "You ain't got a freaking anchor." So he called Boat US. You know, he's got insurance for free towing, or not free, but unlimited towing is a better word. And they came out. It took them 45 minutes to get there, and I swear to you, we come that close to finally touching pilings that were on somebody's property. That close when that guy started pulling us. I'm like, God, boy, did he time that right, you know? And then he pulled us back to the ramps. And then I'm like, man, you want to back that Jeep and try to way in there to ever get it to where we can push this boat on. And the boat went right on all the way up to the front. I'm like, okay, that wasn't too bad, you know. Hooked a strap up to it, and we took off, you know.
Man.
Then he gets here, he's going to hook his. We dropped the boat off here, took it off the trailer, went to TB&T to eat, come back. He's getting ready to go back home, getting ready to hook it back to his Jeep. And you know, what do you call that? The thing you crank on to jack the trailer
Right.
up and down with a wheel
Right.
on it? Well, he went to cranking it, and it was already maxed out. When he cranked it, he broke it. It wouldn't let up or down. So he had to go to Walmart and buy a new one of them. And I come out there with my tools, socket set, and everything. We put the new one on right behind it, cranked it down, then took that one off. And And we're both like, good gracious, what else is going to happen? Then something happened once he got up home, but it wasn't that bad. But it was like, I can't even remember what it was, but something else. He's like, God, this is not my day. I'm like,
He
tell
needs
me
to go to
about it.
bed, go to sleep, and start all over tomorrow.
Yeah, you just need to start a new day tomorrow, dude. You know?
Yeah.
Just give up on today. He goes,
So it's just too much boat or weight for the motor if it's doing it twice now.
Now, see, Kevin Windsor, he said, I spun a prop hitting an underwater log in my crabbing boat. After that, I added a kicker motor. Now,
Right.
my son told me today, he goes, this all started when he hit a log. It was just getting dark. He couldn't half see, and he run over a log like 6 inches in diameter. And when it come up under that boat and hit that motor, it split in half. And he goes, that's when I started having problems. I said, well, you got damage to your foot or anything? I don't see any damage. He goes, but ever since then, I've been having problems with it. I'm like, you might need to take that. Somebody who really works on these things, you know. I don't know, but it happened to him that one time. He bought the part. It's been working for 2 months, and all he did was just got into the throttle, just
Yeah.
boom like that, and the boat picked up, and it made it spin out, just that thrust. I said, either you got the wrong prop on here or something. I said, it shouldn't be doing that, you know. I said, where'd you order it? He goes, Amazon. I said, order it through Mercury. You know, get a OEM product and see if that won't hold up. And quit getting into it so hard. I mean, you should
Yeah.
be able to. You should, you know. But one thing I googled today is on a pontoon boat, you got the pontoon here and a pontoon here, in the water. When you goose it and start going, you get like a tunnel effect of that water running between these pontoons, and it's going right to the prop and putting even more stress on it. And it says to either make sure your tilt is all the way down, or actually lower your motor to where the prop is under all that rush of water coming through.
Right.
So he's got room. He can lower it up to 4 inches. I said I'd lower it at least 2 to 3 inches and see if that don't make a difference. But it sounds like the prop is out of balance. Could be. He's got other props. He put a 22 pitch I think on there today. He said it won't pull like that one, but it'll get him where he needs to go. For he's going back out tomorrow. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Always problems. That's what I told him. I said, you're going to end up selling that boat one day and be glad to get rid of it. Everybody does. Everybody wants a boat. Happiest day of their life. Then the next happiest day is the day they sell it. Just like I
Yeah,
said
them
earlier.
pontoon boats, they're a blast, man. There's so much room on those
Oh
things.
yeah, man. It's like a big open deck. You know, got seats and
Yeah.
everything. Big canopy to keep the sun off of you and everything. It was nice. I was having a good time until that happened. I'm like, oh well,
Yeah.
that
A
didn't
lot of
last
these
long.
watermen and pier people and all that, they love it them use things. They'll use them because they're great work boats too. You know.
Yeah, yeah. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. That's his problem, not mine. But I feel
Right.
for him. I know how that can be, you know. But keep dumping money into something and can't get it right.
Oh
But anyway, luckily that part, all it is a little plastic piece that goes in there. Is only $28. I said, but get more than one. I said, have two or three of them on the boat. That way, if it happens again, you can at least change it out. He can do it on the back deck without getting into the water. You tilt the motor all the way up, he can get to it. It takes 5 minutes, not even that long to change it out. And at least you can propel yourself enough to get back to the dock. Just take it easy, you know.
yeah.
But anyway, I don't. Yeah, yeah. Boat break out another 1,000. That's it.
Yep.
I had that. I had that sailboat, man. We enjoyed it so much. And then once it started having diesel problems and this problem, and hurricanes are coming, and trying to get that boat in safe harbor, it become a nightmare. And I couldn't wait to get rid of that boat. Derek, he lived on it. That was his home, and he couldn't wait to get out from under it. It's just like this is too much, you
Did
know.
that guy ever sell it again? Do you know of? I know a few months back it was still sitting there.
No, I signed it over to the guy that where it's
Right.
sitting, and I don't know if he ended up selling it or not. That's his
Oh,
problem
okay.
now. It's
Okay.
off my yeah, it's off my ass, so I ain't got to
I
worry
thought
about it.
you said something months back that it was still sitting there.
Well, he
Even
put
after he
a
took it
he
over.
put a thing on Facebook Marketplace, and Derek's seen it, where he was trying to sell it. He was tired of looking at it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I mean, yeah, there is something wrong with it. The diesel engine needs a rebuild. That's the reason we was having to get it towed into the back bay when the hurricanes are coming. But the boat is solid. It's a 1978 Hunter Cherubini. And I mean, they built boats back then. That fiberglass on that thing is 3/4 inch thick near the engine room and thinner in other places. But that's a real solid boat. And it's just laying there on its side. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I mean, it could be now. It's been a couple of years, you know.
Yeah.
But all the sails and rigging, everything on that boat was like new when we had it. And that was only a couple of years ago. So couldn't be that much wrong with it, you know. But anyway. But yeah, man, it's 9 o'clock on the dot. I'm gonna go ahead and call this one, and I
All right.
appreciate y'all joining in. And if you go live tomorrow, Lance, let me know. If
Yeah.
not,
Well, I'm gonna wait and see what's going on. I don't want to interfere with that benefit auction thing. I don't
yeah,
want to interfere with that at all. So.
I hear you. I hear you.
But Simon's saying something different, and that would be right in my time frame. But the one I saw earlier today said something about it was ending at 4:30. So
Let me look at
that was
Facebook.
East Coast, West Coast. I don't know.
Yeah, it's 3 hours between you and the West Coast, so 2 hours for me to the West Coast.
Right. All right, Stephen.
So what Simon comes up with here, then I'm gonna end it.
Uh, Steve says he's gonna be out there between one and 4:30
Yeah,
out
you,
at the fundraiser.
Yeah, you're
Right.
right. The old outboards used a shear pin just for that reason. If it got under too much of a load, it would shear that pin instead of breaking a foot or something.
Oh, it does say here. The silent auction will also be on Facebook and YouTube at 2 p.m. Texas time. So yeah, it's earlier in the day. I don't know why Max has that 6 and 7, whatever it was.
Okay, so
Yeah.
all right, cool. Well,
Okay.
there you go.
So yeah, well, I mean,
And
just play it by ear. See what time they finish.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm gonna do. I don't even want to entertain the idea of interfering with any of that. So
it don't matter,
I,
man. It's
that
kind of like me. I jumped on here at the last minute. I mean, 15 minutes before I went live, I decided to go live, and still got people in here. It's not like you got to advertise it for a whole
oh
day,
no,
man.
no, but I want to see how that benefit auction goes. That's what I'm curious to see how that thing
Yeah,
goes.
I might join in and see that. I'm not subscribed. I don't think
Should be on
so.
Uncle Steve. I think it's gonna be on Uncle Steve's page, but uh,
Broadcast on Mags Live.
right. I think that's how they're gonna do it. But Johnny Mags and the Pit Life Barbecue channel also. That's his channel. It's gonna be on those two channels on YouTube for sure.
Pit Life Barbecue. That's his
Hmm.
channel name.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
send you a link.
All right.
Bob Hope.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, people.
Yep. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you, Russ.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
welcome.
Yes, sir.
Simon is looking up something. I was gonna let
I'll
him.
send to your
Oh,
inbox
okay.
on Facebook.
Okay. All right. All right, chat. I appreciate everybody joining in and hanging out. And I got my little fix there because I love joining these lives and stuff like that.
That's
So I
me.
figured I'd do one on my own. So anyway, appreciate the panel for joining in and all that good stuff. Bat13 says, good night, Russ, Lance, Simon, and chat. Good live. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody. We'll see y'all later on
Hey, good
next
night.
time. Later,
Roger.
guys.
Yep. Bye bye.
Roger.
Just hit the end live on the top corner.
Yeah, I got it.